Lab Earthquake Response Manual. On November 15, 2017 at 2:29:31 p.m., the second largest earthquake to the Gyeongju earthquake in 2016 broke out since the first earthquake observation 1978 in the magnitude of 5.4 at 9 kilometers north from Bukgu, Pohang, Gyeongsangbuk-do. Also, the earthquake was the most damaging in history, with a maximum magnitude of 6. After the main earthquake, aftershocks have continued to occur, and one with a magnitude of 4.6 occurred at 5:30 a.m. on February 11, 2018 at 8 kilometers north of Pohang, North Gyeongsang Province. In particular, the Pohang earthquake produced anxiety and fear because the area had been quiet for a while. A total of 100 aftershocks were generated, and 8 of those earthquakes had a magnitude of 3.0 or higher. Before we begin our study, we will check the necessary actions that a researcher should take in case of an earthquake. To protect your life from disasters, such as the Pohang earthquake, it is important to know how to react in the situation and to know your evacuation route or exit in advance. Earthquakes are always unexpected. You should always be prepared because you don't know when and where one will happen. There's definitely a difference in safety if you learn how to act reflexively through repeated training and ongoing training. For earthquakes, you need to prepare as much as you can, and preparing will help reduce damage. Let's protect ourselves. In this session, we will talk about earthquake, preparations and evacuation plans for earthquakes, and post-handling after evacuation. By doing this, we can understand earthquake, master the preparatory manual on earthquake, enhance safety consciousness, and reduce laboratory damages. By ensuring thorough preparations, we will be able to ensure safe evacuation and minimize post-handling. Lastly, we need our bodies to memorize the manual beyond our heads. Let's start our learning by reviewing the learning objectives. An earthquake is a phenomenon caused when blocks of the Earth's crust suddenly shift underground as a result of tremendous geologic forces, and the surface of the Earth nearby is shaken. Waves of energy are generated in the Earth by the movement of the earthquake, and these earthquake waves are transmitted to the surface and vibrate the ground. The fundamental elements of an earthquake include origin time, hypocenter, epicenter, magnitude, and seismic intensity. When these earthquakes occur, usually the shaking can be felt almost simultaneously over a large area. Between 1980 and 2018, earthquakes of magnitude 6.0 or greater have occurred around 159 times worldwide. Earthquakes are especially common in the Pacific Rim earthquake zone, which extends from North America to South America and some parts of Asia, around the margins of the Pacific Ocean in a feature called the Ring of Fire. In recent years in Korea, the largest earthquake occurred in 2017 at Gyeongju with a scale of 5.8, and the Pohang earthquake, scale 5.4, caused serious damages. The peninsula is no longer an earthquake-safe zone. This table presents the locations and dates of the past earthquakes in Korea. Let's review one by one. First, earthquakes broke out in Gyeongju, Gyeongbuk in 2016 in the magnitude of 5.8 and in the magnitude of 5.4 in Pohang in 2017. Thirdly, earthquake broke out in the magnitude of 5.3 in North Korea in 1980. And the fourth largest earthquake was Uljingun, Gyeongbuk in 2004 in the magnitude of 5.2. In the same magnitude, an earthquake occurred in Mount Seongni, Chungbuk in 1978. In 2014 and 2016, Earthquakes occurred in Gyeongju, Gyeongbuk, and Taean, Chungnam, respectively, both in the magnitude of 5.1. In 2016, 2003, and 1978, earthquakes in the magnitude of 5.0 occurred in Ulsan, Incheon, and Chungnam, respectively. Lastly, earthquakes in the magnitude of 4.9 broke out twice in 2013, and in Incheon and Sinwon-gun in 2003 and 1994, respectively. These data demonstrate that the Korean peninsula is no longer safe from earthquakes. Precautions against earthquakes. Fix the shelf and reagent shelf securely so that they do not fall. Chemicals, reagents, hazardous materials are stored together in categories according to their characteristics as specified by Industrial Safety and Health Act, Fire Protection Act, etc. Reagent or flammable substances are stored safely in closed ventilated storage or stored properly according to Material Safety Data Sheet and Global Harmony System Management. Do not load items that can cause a fire or possible explosion on the upper part of the lab shelving to prevent accidents in case they fall. And store items loaded on the experiment stand with a safety bar classified by material, item, weight. A lab that handles hazardous chemicals should be equipped with a diffusion preventive container, an open or closed lever protective cover, and a tucked stand separately, to prevent diffusion if a leak occurs, and should also display ingredients on the outside of the container. Store the bottle covered in parafilm so the mobile phase solution does not leak. Flammable substance reagent bottles can fall and break or spill, causing injury and secondary damage to the body, start a fire, so store them in a fireproof cabinet installed with a safety bar. Tetrahydrofuran is a corrosive substance, so it should not be stored together with flammable substances. Store it separately in the acid reagent shelf. For gas containers, securely fasten them to the wall with bolts and chains. Replace gas containers that